teachers have started using AI. English teachers, high school teachers in public schools, teachers. And so there are AI platforms for teachers to help teachers do what teachers need to do. Create materials, lessons, give feedback to their students, evaluate where they are, how well they're doing. So there are platforms. One of them is called Brisk. Now, I was exploring this because I'm an English teacher, right? So these things get advertised to me. And I checked this out and I thought, oh, this is pretty interesting. But then I thought, wait a second. If this is useful for teachers, why can't students just use this directly? Cut out the middleman. Why can't students just use the tools that the teachers are using in ways that are useful to them? Well, that's what we're going to test today with Brisk AI. This is not a sponsored video. I just thought this would be an interesting way to use AI as an English learning student. I'm not supposed to tell you this. This is for teachers. It's not for you. It's forbidden fruit. Do not use what I'm about to show you. Do not do it. You're not allowed. There's just a little bit of reverse psychology for you. Now, the cool thing about this, there are obviously a lot of things that you can do because this is for administrators, high school teachers, private teachers, one-on-one tutors. It's for a lot of different kinds of teachers, not just English teachers. So you have to choose what's useful for you, right? So we're going to be just checking out a few different things, and we're going to be focusing on the Chrome browser extension. So the main way to use this is as a browser extension. And that's kind of cool in itself because as a browser extension, you can create native Google Docs. That's right. Google Sheets, Google Slides, I think it's called. Is it Slide? Yeah, it's Google Slides. And then what's the Word doc version? It's just called a Google Doc, right? Is that right? Am I losing my mind? Anyway, yes. So you can create all kinds of stuff and get feedback on stuff. The question is it better than using ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok? Or is it the same? Or is it worse? Is it more useful? Well, yeah, let's find out. Let's find out. So this is the Chrome extension. You pin it to the top here so that you have easy access to it. And then you can do things like make slides from a YouTube video. That's pretty cool, right? If you could make native Google Slides with just a link from a YouTube video, that would be pretty cool, right? That would save a lot of steps. Give feedback on a student's work. Well, what about my work? As a student, can I just get feedback directly? Let's see. That's pretty interesting. Change the reading level of an article. Well, if an article is very difficult for me, maybe I can change the reading level and compare the two. Again, I can do that in ChatGPT, but is it a better experience? Right? That's what we need to find out. Okay. And by the way, that's not the only way to use YouTube videos. And you can also create a regular document as well. So let's try this out. Okay, so it's giving an example here. When you go to a YouTube video, you can click on the Brisk button, the B button, and then create from there. So let's go to a YouTube video. Back in the day, I used to make just regular old English learning videos, teaching phrases, grammar, all kinds of things. I know. I made over 1,000 videos like that on the YouTube channel. These days, I'm focusing a lot more on AI, and I'm being advertised Ozempic? What are you trying to... This is perfect. I think, is it possible that Google is watching me recording this right now? Because you have, this is me from, what's this, 5 years ago, okay? And this is me now, today. And here, over there, is an advertisement for Ozempic, which is a way to lose weight. And I think it's trying to tell me, are you trying to tell me that 5 years later, I'm fatter than I was 5 years ago? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Oh, wow. That's too much. You know what? Screw you, Luke from 5 years ago, you idiot with your dumb sofa and your Nintendo 64. Bozo. All right. What? Okay. All right. Let's do this. So I think it should just show up, right? Or maybe I have to click on the thing up here. So let me click on the thing up here. Oh, here it is. I have to drag it over here. It's way over here. That's weird. Okay. Let's just keep it here for now. Okay. So let's now, we have this. This video is about English learning from a Rick and Morty episode. There's a Rick and Morty episode, and there are some phrases from the Rick and Morty episode. So we click on this B, and then we get, let me move myself out of the way a little bit here. Then we could do quiz, presentation. Let's just click on create here. And I can do a quiz or a rubric, a progress report. I'm going to create a quiz. And then we can do it as a form or a Google Doc. For this one, I'm just going to do it as a regular Google Doc. And then you can choose standards. I think I'm going to skip that too. Let's make it a 7th grade level. Multiple choice, 10 questions. Create a challenging knowledge quiz. Then add 10 open discussion questions based on the video. All right. Then we brisk it. Okay. Then it just opens up in Google Docs. Oh. Then we just what? We just watch what happens? Generating your questions. So we're in a Google Doc, a real Google Doc now. I think I can move myself back a little bit. This is kind of crazy. We just watch it happen. It's right. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. It's going. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in a little more. Okay. Wow. This is pretty cool. It's cool that it does it directly in Google Docs. I find that very handy. So if it's actually really good, just being able to generate materials. And again, all I have is the link to the video, and I can kind of create whatever I want with the video. All right. So based on Rick's scientific approach to the show, which method would be most problematic when conducting a real science fair experiment? Okay, I haven't watched the video in 5 years, so I don't remember the answer. Rick's nihilistic worldview suggests that nothing matters. How might this perspective most negatively impact scientific research? Okay, well, that's not really a question about that scene, though, right? I don't know. That's more broadly about it's not really about the phrases shared, right? Morty's anxiety about Rick's adventures reflects which important aspect of scientific decision-making. This doesn't seem to be very specific to the video. So let's try another one without trying to do anything, and let's do it on a different video. Okay, so let's just try the coffee ordering video. This video is very straightforward. It has specific phrases for how to order coffee. That's it, right? So we want to do this. We want to create. We want to do quiz. We want to be able to review them. And I'm not going to give any requirements other than that it's a 7th grade level. And then I'm going to brisk it. Here we go. We're brisking it. It's being brisked. What I'm concerned about is if it gives general questions about, I don't know, Starbucks or something, then it's kind of missing the point. The video is about how to order coffee at a coffee shop like Starbucks. It's not about Starbucks. It's about how to order coffee. And so I want to see if it's able to sort of capture that this is an English learning video. And what I really want is the phrases, the useful phrases, right? A customer wants to order the largest possible iced coffee at Starbucks. What size should they choose? Yes, I think venti would be the right answer. If you were explaining the difference between a latte and a cappuccino to someone who has never tried either, what would be the most accurate comparison? That's in the video. A customer with a caffeine sensitivity wants to enjoy a coffee shop experience. What would be the best way for them to order? You would want to say decaf. That's right. That's in the video. Why might someone choose oat milk instead of regular milk? Now, that's not exactly in the video, but the general topic of different types of milk, that is in the video. Okay? A friend tells you that they want a coffee that tastes like hot chocolate. Based on the drink types available, what should you recommend and why? Okay, a mocha. Yes. So, I mean, it does go over the different types of drinks. I want to see if there are any drinks that are more specific to English phrases in general, not just the sizes of Starbucks drinks, right? Based on the espresso drink types, what is the main factor that distinguishes one drink from another? The ratio and preparation of milk, foam, and additional ingredients. Okay, so that's better, although I would say it's still limited in terms of its use as an English learning tool. But I wonder if I gave the specifics of make a quiz or give discussion questions that ask about phrases used for ordering coffee. If I was more specific, if I could get better results. So that is better, but it's still not good enough. And so I'm going to try one more time. I'm going to once again do, you know what? I'm going to do create anything, and I'm going to say create a list of challenging tasks for English learners using the specific phrases mentioned in the video. Okay, I think that would be useful. All right, here we go. We brisk it. We're brisking it. We're taking a very big brisk here. Role play ordering challenge. Okay, work with a partner. One person is a barista, the other is a customer. Use these Italian coffee terms: espresso, cappuccino, macchiato, ristretto, and lungo. That is not in the video. Lungo is not in the video. Starbucks uses Italian words for sizes, but they don't match portions. Practice converting. That's not really an English challenge, is it? Menu description, doppio macchiato. Okay, create menu descriptions for these specialty drinks. This is not in the video. 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 And it's telling me that it's in the video, but it's not. It is not in the video. I will tell you that. So that's kind of a fail too. Okay, now let's try feedback on a student's work. How good is the feedback? Let's try this one. Okay, so this is giving me an example here, The Great Gatsby, and this is an essay. And then the options here, I click on Give Feedback down here, and I want to just give targeted feedback, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we're getting comments, and it looks like the comments are from me. Now that in itself, I have to say, is pretty cool. Let's see how good they are. Let's see how good these comments are. Zoom in here. Great job starting your essay with an introduction to the book and author. You've set the stage well for discussing themes. Can you think of a way to make your opening sentence more engaging to the reader? Okay, all right, I mean, that's an opening comment, sure. You've explained the theme of illusion versus reality well. Your point about characters hiding behind masks is interesting. Can you give a specific example? Okay, so this is a, general feedback to kind of push the student, right, to basically say, hey, can you make improvements, right? I have one writing sample here, which is just not good. In today's world, some people think technology makes our lives easier, but other people think it makes our lives more complicated. It's just poor writing. So I want to see if I can get really good feedback to actually correct this and make it better. Okay, you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to click on this again. I'm going to do feedback, targeted, and then instead of 4th grade, I'm going to do an 8th grade level. Let's try that. Oh, it's just adding comments. We have some 4th grade comments and some 8th grade comments. I have to say, it is cool to just see them appear like that. That is pretty interesting. All right, let's see what these comments say. Great job starting a new paragraph to discuss one side of the argument. Can you make this sentence stronger by giving a hint? Okay, you've started to present one side of the argument, which is great. To improve this section, try to list out 2 to 3 specific reasons why. Okay, so this is giving an sort of essay structure. You've made a point about communication. To make your argument stronger, you can give a specific example. It's kind of giving the same comments here again and again. Very similar comments here. Let's see if we can get any comments that are not. Give more examples. You've given a good example with social media. Can you add more details? So basically, each comment is give a specific example. Make more examples. Make more examples. Give a specific example. Okay. Well, I mean, that's not the only thing feedback is. It also, by the way, sucks as writing. And so a writing coach would give feedback on how to make this writing better, right? Does that make sense? How to make the writing better. So I'm going to clear some of these, and I'm going to ask for specific feedback on the quality of the writing. Sorry for this being so small, but I'm trying to explain what I do as I do it. So, okay, give feedback. Now, we zoom in here, and then be specific. Let's do this again. Be specific. Targeted. 8th grade. Perfect. Brisket. If it just asks for me to give more examples, I'm going to lose my mind. Your opening paragraph introduces the topic well, but your thesis statement could be stronger. Instead of saying, let me talk about both ideas, try to make a more specific claim about technology's impact. For example, while technology offers numerous conveniences, it also introduces new complexities, and its overall impact on our lives depends on how we choose to use it. Yeah, okay. Your opening sentence for this paragraph is a good start, but it could be more specific and engaging. Try rephrasing it to something like, those who believe technology simplifies our lives offer several compelling arguments. I don't know. If I were doing this in ChatGPT, right, let's just do this as a comparison. We put in the text here in ChatGPT. Okay, so with the same prompt and the same text, grammar, syntax, subject-verb agreement, issues, but other people think it makes our lives more complicated. Correction, but others think it makes our lives more complicated. Reason, other people is not wrong, but others is more concise. Yes, I agree. Redundancy, the people who say technology makes our lives easier have some reasons. This is wordy. Better. Overuse of we can communicate, we can use social media. This repetition is fine in casual speech, but feels clunky in writing. Yes. Structure. So this is now feedback not just on the corrections, but on the structure overall. Suggestion. Replace with something more formal. This essay will discuss both perspectives. Paragraph development. The first body paragraph is underdeveloped. It lists one point, communication, but does not expand. Balance. Clarity and style. Word choice. Have some reasons. Give reasons. From anywhere in the world works, but across the globe or regardless of distance would vary tone. Transitions. Suggested revision. In today's world, some people believe technology makes life easier, while others argue it complicates daily living. This essay will examine both perspectives. Much better. This feedback is much, much better than the Brisk feedback. So that kind of leaves me, and it's the same thing with the generate quiz feature, right? This is such a cool idea to have a little companion that follows you around in your browser that makes it easy to create ancillary content, to test you, right? To summarize, to give learning recommendations, to evaluate what you create, right? So the idea of this is so cool. However, the execution on a quality level, if I'm an English teacher, which I am, is not good. So this is what I often come back to. Many companies are using APIs from the ones who provide the models, OpenAI, Google, but they're optimizing for cost, right? And so they're generally using the cheaper models. For example, if they're going to have a free tier, they're going to use the cheapest model available, or a very cheap model. I don't know this about Brisk, but I think maybe, based on the results. So the quality of the output is always going to be much lower, less intelligent than the most cutting-edge model that you can use natively in Gemini, in ChatGPT, in Grok. So you're always going to get better intelligence in a platform like ChatGPT than with a tool like this if you're using it for free. Now, with the paid tier, I don't know, maybe it's a lot better, maybe it's a lot smarter, maybe it's a lot more nuanced, and it actually understands that the quiz shouldn't be about knowledge of Starbucks, the quiz should be about knowledge of English phrases about going to Starbucks. The second one is much more important than the first. It's not so important to know about the Starbucks drink sizes. It's much more important to know how to express yourself when you're talking about the Starbucks drink sizes. Right? And if I were to ask ChatGPT that, here's the transcript of a video, it would do a much better job with that. It would understand that nuance without me having to specifically state it and do a much better job. So this is this weird thing where, yes, okay, the AI tools are everywhere, but they're not all the same. You're going to generally get better results using the native tool, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, and maybe Claude. Unless the tool you're using, you're sure it's using the most cutting-edge models, or you can choose the most cutting-edge models. But generally, that's not going to be true because otherwise they wouldn't give it to you for free, right? But then the other thing is, from a usage standpoint, I would kind of like to be able to just click on a little button under a YouTube video that natively generates useful stuff in a Google Doc already in a folder in Google Drive. That's really useful. So you have a good idea with a convenient feature, creating native documents in Google Drive, paired with, from what I can see, relatively cheap AI that doesn't work that well. And so I don't know what to think about that. I prefer to just do the extra step and then use the smarter models. I can paste stuff back and forth, right? Between YouTube, a YouTube transcript, and ChatGPT. It's not a big deal. And I can paste that into a Google Doc if I need to. That's a few extra steps, but I'd rather have the better quality content. That saves me time in the long run. So I don't know. Where is this going? What do you think? Will all of these little tools, these bits and bobs, will they all die if they can't get enough users because they're just not good enough? Or will the best AI get so cheap that you can use the best AI even in the free tier? I don't know the answer. And it's the same with English learning practice apps. I've tested them, right? Generally speaking, you get maybe, let's say, 3 to 5 minutes for free per day, something like that. With most of them, I've tested them, so check out that video where I tested them. But they're not using usually the most expensive APIs. They're using a cheaper model so that they can offer that free usage. And because it all comes down to just the practice back and forth, it's always going to be generally worse than just using your favorite AI tool. So those apps, they're not competing with each other. I'm not sure if they understand that. They're not competing with each other. They're competing with the native chat tool platform of the ones that create the model. OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, and Grok. That's who they're competing with, all of those apps and tools and plugins. They're competing with someone just saying, I'll just paste this into ChatGPT. That's fine. I'll have a conversation in ChatGPT. That's fine. That's what you're competing with. And I'm not sure if they get that. I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway, I may or may not be working on something that acknowledges this fact. But let me know what you think about Brisk. Feel free to try it out. Let me know what you think. I'm really curious. Was it more helpful for you than it was for me? I really like that native Google Doc thing where it just goes and creates a doc, and it's just so magical. That's so cool. In concept, it's so cool. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. I really appreciate that. A very simple thing you can do to support the channel. Just hit the like button and subscribe. Very helpful. If you want to go further and you're ready to take your English to the next level, check out the 90-day program. That is the best way to improve your English in 90 days. And hey, the 90-day program has acknowledged that if I were to build some dinky AI and say, hey, this is an AI-powered program, that would be worse than just using ChatGPT. So guess what? It just uses ChatGPT. You go through a module in the program. It sends you an email with an assignment. You do your assignment, spoken or written, depending on the assignment, and you paste it into a custom GPT that is programmed to know the content of the assignment and what you're trying to accomplish. Natively in ChatGPT. Why? Because I've acknowledged that that's the best experience, and it saves money on the total cost, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? Anyway, check that out. Links in the description. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.